everybody, welcome from my studio. This is Linda Carroll, and today we're going to be doing a magical collage, and I'm so excited to share this with you. Sometimes you have a dream and it just stays with you, it sticks with you. And the dream that I had the other morning was about a drawing that I made using poppies, the flowers. And a friend of mine came to visit me, and he had done a painting based on poppy flowers, and we wanted to share these with one another. And I thought that was really special because my friend had passed away 12 years ago, and I hadn't dreamt about him in a long time. So it was doubly special, and I wanted to remember that. I wanted to remember sharing artwork with him like we used to do. He was my mentor and friend when I was at MAAED in Baltimore. And so today I'm going to do a magical realism collage based upon that dream. And you know how dreams sometimes have that really kind of ephemeral, watery atmosphere. The image that came to my mind was a poppy field underwater. And that's the magical part of this collage, that for me, I saw a field of poppies underwater, and that's where my imagination took me. So I've created a new collage kit for this particular collage. It'll be available in my shop on my website, www.collagemagic.com, and it'll also be available on my Etsy shop, Gather of Great Things. So if you're ready, well, I'm going to change the camera to overhead. It's great to see you. If you're new to my channel, please do give me a thumbs up if you enjoy this video, and also subscribe, and you'll be notified if you ring that little bell icon when I have a new video available. So I'm going to change the camera around to overhead, and let's get started. See you in a minute. Okay, let me show you what I have created to make our collage today. Number one, I used two different images to create this underwater scene, and I really love the way that it turned out. I manipulated the images and stacked them together digitally, and the poppies look like they're underwater. And in the background there is part of a painting from, I think it's 1800s, and there's sharks and all kinds of creatures in the background, some coral. So this is background number one, and the one that I'm going to use. This is background number two. Now this is the image that I started out with to create this image. And what I've done on this one is overlaid sparkles on the image. So if you want to work with a darker background, you can certainly use this one with the sparkle aesthetic. And also I've created two different sheets to go with this, collage sheets. Now this one does not have the sparkles on it. There are a variety of poppies, stamps, fish images, mermaid images, and this beautiful muka image that I use similar images in my autumn grimoire. So, and the other option that you have with the sparkles, I've done both of these sheets with sparkles throughout on the images, which I really, really love. I'm going to do a collage with the sparkles as well, but today we're going to work on the one without sparkles. So let's put that one aside and let's work with this background. Now, I've cut out my images, the ones that I believe I'm going to use, and I have my mermaid tail, and then I have this image that I just love. When I put the tail on her, let's see, right here is where I'm going to glue the tail on her. And I just, the way that her back is arched and her hair flowing out, I am going to go in and cut out these white areas. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Finished trimming out, cutting out all the edges, and right now what I'm doing is figuring out how I'm going to layer her tail on her and make it look like it's just going around her waist. So I cut around this piece of material that she's holding in her hand and slid her tail up under there, and the curve of her back comes right here. So I'm thinking that I need to trim this down a little bit more. Okay, let's see. I'm going to follow this line here. Okay, and then we'll try that. Okay, I really like that, but I think I need to cut this part here so that I don't have this piece sticking up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and glue this down and make sure that everything fits. And for this part, I'm just using glue stick. And we'll tuck this up underneath here. Okay, that's where I want it. And I really like the way the elbow just touches the edge of the tail here. And I'm going to cut this part of the, see what happens if I cut this and bring it forward, how that looks. Okay, I like that. So, okay, here's our mermaid. Let's see how she works on our background. All right. So where do I want to place her? Okay, I think that's it. Now, I'm going to take some distress inks. What do I want to use? Let's see. I think around her hair. I think I'm just going to try some vintage photo. And go around these edges a little bit, because I don't want any little white edges distracting me in the collage. So all the areas where I cut, I want to make sure that I get in there. Here's our mermaid, which I love. And let's see what else we can put in there. And another thing, I want to figure out if I want to put a border around this or not. I'm not sure. So I'm going to switch my, let's see, peel and paint, tea dye. I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch to my distress ink, the tea dye, and work on the rest of this. Okay, so I have my fish. You know how I love my fish. Okay. Okay. Now I like to lay out my collage pretty much totally before I start to glue everything down. I like to see it and have the opportunity to move things around if I want to, and adjust things, take things out if they're, you know, too busy. So like I love that little girl, but I don't know if she's gonna stay in here. And another tail. And I love this little face. The stamps that I used on this collage kit, this one comes from the Ukraine, and it has the poppies on it, and that's one reason I call this Poppy Mermaid of Peace, because I just love this stamp. Okay, what else do I have? Another fish. Now remember, you want to overlap your elements. And this is a smaller one that I did. You want to overlap your elements so that you're showing layering and depth in your piece. So you have there's 3 fish. What else do I have in here? I also cut out the other collage kits that are available for free on my website. If you become a member of the site and become a collage magician yourself, you have access to a number of freebies on the site. So that's something that you might, you know, definitely consider. I'm adding new things every week. That's kind of pretty. Or maybe she belongs over here. I like that change. That little movement there. Gave me a little bit of a different perspective. Let's see what else I have here. I have these large poppies that are this most beautiful peachy color. And I thought we needed something to overlap her to show that she actually is swimming through the water. And there are also these poppies that I thought maybe I'd have coming up from the front, but I don't think I need those in this. And I call this magical realism because, number one, it's something that I saw in my imagination, and you know, it could be real. I would treat it as real, that number one, there really are mermaids, and number two, there could be a beautiful poppy garden at the bottom of the sea. Who knows? We've never been down there. So definitely there could be a garden of poppies just waiting to be discovered at the bottom of the sea. Let's see. And there could be a mermaid with butterfly wings. I think I need to cut her tail off here. So something that's considered magical realism, you know, is something that we would talk about as if it was everyday life, but there's a magical element to it in that, you know, we've never really heard of a undersea poppy garden, but there could be one. Who's to say? I think she might be riding on the back of this fish. But I don't want... I have to figure out what to do with her tail. Here. Wrap it around like that. She could definitely be riding on the back of the fish. I like that looks, the way that looks up here against this poppy too. Okay, she definitely could be riding there. And I like the way that's overlapping and that's overlapping. And I have a fish down here streaming through the scene. And another one. And this one could go up here. You know, it's really busy. But you know how I love busy. And I don't think she needs butterfly wings since she's riding on the back of a fish. But, you know, there might be butterflies down here too. I don't know that they need to be blue, but that's what I have cut out here. I have a under the water sea chest. Now, spirit. You know, I'm so used to having a border around my work. A sticker. And a little starfish. And a chalice. Huh. All right, the one thing I don't like about stickers is they have this white stuff around the edge that I always have to cut off. You just never know. That's, you know, what I have laying around my table and in the vicinity. It's there for a reason, even though I may not know exactly what that reason is when I sit down to work. But, you know, I really believe that these synchronicities that happen, they're letting me know that I'm on the right path. You know, you think about all the different things that happen that seem like a coincidence, but I don't think so. I think there's a reason that this little bottle, this little more than half used sticker sheet was sitting beside my table. And as I'm cutting this out, I'm thinking about my friend Dawn. And, you know, the fact that, now this could be floating, doesn't necessarily have to be at the bottom of the sea. It could be floating somewhere here in the scene. It gives me something else to layer on. Okay. But I think, you know, maybe Dawn coming to visit me in my dream the other night was just a little message, you know, saying, yes, you know, you are on your path. You are doing what you love, and you go, girl, you go. Because Dawn was the person that promoted me and got my, you know, I got my first and really only, aside from college, gallery showing. And I haven't really pushed to get any more, but I have to say, since I've started this channel, I have a lot more confidence in what I'm doing and the work that I'm doing and the reason why I'm doing it. And you know, there may be a gallery show out there that I'm getting ready for. Okay, I've moved elements around. I really like this layout. I'm not real sure yet about this little girl, but I think she really needs to be in here. And I love the butterfly. The blue here balances out the blues here in the background. And I have my, you know, my layering that gives this a lot of depth. So I think that I'm ready to glue this down. Let's see, what else do I have here? I have a little starfish. It's being a little difficult to get off of this page. I think I tried to use this in something else, and it just ended up stuck on this. And I have a little chalice too. This I've already cut around. I think he goes really well right there. Right now I'm balancing elements. I like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go around all of these with my tea dye, and then I'm going to start gluing everything down. Okay, let's see, do we need anything else? You know, I love maximalist collages, and it's like I can't get enough stuff on a collage, and I don't know, I just feel like that's a little bit of whimsy with this fish carrying this stamp. Let's see, do I have anything I can cut that stamp with that would... I have these. Let's try these. See what happens. Yeah. That looks pretty good. Whenever I use part of a fish on one side, I like to use the other part on the other side of the collage, because your eye will recognize that as a fish. It will finish the image for you. Your brain finishes up the image. Trim off these little pieces here. Now I just printed this background on regular printer paper, so I will have to back it with, you know, heavier, either a piece of board or, you know, something like that. But what do you think? I think it really looks magical. My poppy field under the sea. Now, I think I want to go in and add a little bit more of something. I don't like the way that the distressed oxide darkened the hair over here. So I think I need to go in and really lighten that up some. Let's see. This is a magenta. Oh yeah. And, you know, going in and adding other media to your collage really adds depth to the work that you've done, and can serve to make it more your own as well, depending on how much you decide to add. This, I mean, I can't really improve on a Mucha print at all. I love his work. I love the style. But basically right now I'm just cleaning up and adding some texture to the hair. And it looks much better to me. Not sure what this is. It's very waxy. I'm gonna get rid of that little bit of white right there. And I kind of smudge her chin a little bit. So I'm going in with color pencil and just adding a little bit of lightness to her face. And maybe carry it out into her hair a little bit. Out. Make her lips just a little bit darker. And a little bit more definition here. Okay. What else do I want to do? I can go in and add some shading. Oh, I know what I want to do. I want to go in and add a stamp. I've got these stamps. And I have this one with a number of stamps on it. This. I have this longer one. That might be too busy. Yeah, I think that's what I want. Okay. We need some more butterflies. Maybe just a hint. You know, I think I'm loving the story just the way it is. It's busy, but I really love it. So I have my undersea poppy garden. That is truly magical. Wow. And what a great memory from my dream. I really do love it. I think she's good just the way she is. Okay, I'm sure if we look at this, I know there's lots of symbolism for me. I have butterflies for transformation. There's a message in the bottle in here. My mermaid, who is very, very free in the sea. She is definitely dreamy looking and very magical in her own right. You know, I think it is really, really pretty. You know, I was thinking the other day in my art journals, a lot of my work isn't pretty. A lot of my work is absurd, over the top, surrealistic, but not a whole lot of what we would call pretty. But I think this collage is very, very feminine, very, very powerful. And she is very, very powerful in her realm under the sea. All of these things come together to make this a very, 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 very dreamy, meaningful, magical collage. And I hope you enjoyed watching me put this all together, watching the pieces call to one another, wanting to be included, balancing out the colors, balancing out the design in the overall collage. And again, this kit is available on my website. And if you if you join the website, you have access to all of the free downloadables as well. And there is a mermaid page in there that has her tail. It might have fish too, but you know, if you don't want to buy the kit, there is a freebie on the membership resource library. So I hope you had a good time. I did. And I wish you many, many blessings. Bye for now.